Monday, Tuesday, Gronk Day, everybody. Rob Gronkowski, four-time Super Bowl champion, is back. He is here, not in studio, but we've got lots to talk about. He jumped out of a helicopter. We've got some top stories around the league to dig into, of course. Yeah, I don't even know what we're going to talk about. We have a big game, I know, between the Eagles and the Commanders that we're going to have to dig into, hopefully getting his ideas, prop a shot about that. There's a fight on Friday. When we get his thoughts on that, maybe have a special guest. Week 11 is here. Let's do it. Slate for Week 11. I'll have it momentarily, but I do know which game it kicks off with. Oh, yes, Commanders at Eagles here. Feast your eyes on that, kicking off Week 11. Beautiful Kevin Durant roasting people on Twitter all morning. He's trying to heal up, get back on the court for the Suns, who did get a win over the Jazz last night. Didn't watch it because I don't watch when Kevin Durant's not on the court, being the best pure shooter of all time. But alas, maybe we'll get his thoughts on that via Twitter or here on the program. We'll get his picks, of course. Packers, Bears, oh my is right. Bears in a full-on spiral. Shane Waldron is out. You got the Packers there. Ravens, Steelers, 1 p.m. window, love that. Another winner gets first place scenario there. Pittsburgh, 3-point home underdog. Chiefs, Bills is, gosh, this is a fun week. Finally, Hamilton, a fun week in the NFL. A fun week. This will be great, honestly. This is KC.
It is going to be great.
KC has won 3 straight in the playoffs against this Bills squad. We got a regular season playoff atmosphere action. Bills 1.5-point faves. How do you feel about that? Over the defending champs, the undefeateds right now. What is that about? What is that about?
Yeah, the Bills at home, and the Bills have won those regular season matchups.
Yeah.
Kansas City gets them every time it really matters, but the Bills have had their number kind of in the regular season. So I think with them playing at home, I guess that's what that's about. We'll see if Amari Cooper and Keon Coleman can be back on the field, because I don't know. Without those guys, I don't know if they're going to be able to get that win.
Do you think these abacus wizards over at FanDuel Sportsbook really look at what the record is in the regular season? Like, that matters? Totally different teams, different stakes, different vibes, different time.
I don't know.
No?
I don't know. I think it has to factor in a little bit.
I don't know.
I would like somewhat.
I'd like to know. Let's text our overlords over there and see why that is. That's sort of surprising to me. And then we got the Bengals. Oh my gosh, they're coming to LA. I can't wait for them to get here. I'm gonna go light a fire under their butts on Sunday night. Let's do this thing. Cincy, a 1.5-point underdog there. We got lots to get to. Gronk's gonna be on the show. We heard this crazy story about a snake in a locker room.
Your nightmare.
It's my actual nightmare. Was it planted? Which locker room? Where? We're going to get you all of the details here, and then, of course, get the reaction from Gronk. It is actually super creepy. We got lots to talk about. Should we get to our underreactions?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's do it, guys. We got Attaboys to dish out as well. But these are some things that we aren't talking about enough in the good old National Football League right now. And this is when I was texting Chris and Hamilton, our intrepid producers. They live in New York, and I was texting them during this Niners game for all the craziness of the Niners game and all the Jake Moody and all the Debo and all the Pepper. Like, lost in that sauce was Brock Purdy, just getting into a groove and really looking great and not having a fully healthy arsenal, even though we had CMC back. The Niners haven't had the start we've expected, and Brock's stats might not be as outrageous as they were a year ago, but he also had a healthy complement of receivers back then. I think what he's doing right now is more impressive, and it's getting no love. Unless he's doing poorly, we don't speak about him. He's still anticipating throws. He's making the timing plays, but he started to make more and more happen off platform. I loved seeing that in Sunday's win at Tampa. Some of those throws were as good as anything I've seen from the quarterback this season. He's had a rotating cast of characters. The offense, is not where it was, as I just said 9 times. And Brock has elevated the guys around him that he does have. The Pearsalls, the guys that can get in the mix and hopefully build them some depth, some resilience down the stretch into the playoffs. It's the number 2 offense in the league, guys. Despite all this, sky is falling, no dominant, put your face on or foot on their throat sort of win that we're looking for. This dominant team that we saw at spurts more often than not, leading into their bye around the same time last year. when you peel back the layers and you look at some of the underlying sort of numbers, this is how well Purdy is playing. Second in the NFL in yards per game and yards per attempt. He's led the Niners to points on nearly half of their drives. He ranks fourth in expected points added per dropback, whatever that means, right in between Allen and Burrow. Second to only Lamar, picking up the first down on 38.8% of his dropbacks. Okay, sure. Whatever you look at there, this is a top 5 quarterback. That's all that says, right? That's what that is, and hopefully will only get better. In the game through 4 quarters, I liked seeing him sort of start shaky and get into a rhythm that was nice. And then I think the added stability of CMC being back, if he plays at a near MVP level, if you get 80% of what CMC is back, that's great. They host the Seattle Seahawks on Sunday. A win. That gives them, maybe they went wobbly and wonky, but the win's a win. That would be 3 straight. That puts them right back in a tie for first place in the NFC West. Now, they are currently third behind the Lions and Eagles at plus 550 to win the NFC. Do we have that? Do we have the odds board on that? I want to see. No? Oh, in the NFC. I can't decide if I would go all in right now on them or the Cardinals. I want to see what happens against Seattle with another game with CMC and all of that. The Cardinals are playing such good ball. I don't know that I wouldn't throw some money on them for the NFC West odds, at least. We'll have those for you at some point. Say it again, NFC champion, but NFC West. Do we have those odds? I know we put them up with they probably changed since we had Whitworth on Monday. Next up, let's give some positivity to Tech. Oh, here we go. All right, Hammy, I don't know. This is close here. Plus 140, plus 105. I don't know what I would do or what I sort of need to see. I might go with the Cardinals here. I really might. And Jake Moody might be the reason.
And the Cardinals do have a little bit of an edge, too, because they beat the Niners once already. They already beat the Rams. They have the tiebreakers right now. It was a wonky game the first time around against the Niners. It was one of those weird ones that they kind of let slip away. They play week 18, by the way, which could be for the division, which would be kind of wild. But I love what the Cardinals are doing this year. I think Jonathan Gannon should be getting a lot more love in the Coach of the Year conversation. Oof. But I still trust the Niners, I think, to ultimately pull away here.
Cardinals haven't played the Seahawks yet. So they're going to get them twice still. They've got something looking at their matchups. Mm-hmm. They got the Patriots. I won't bet on that game. That's one that I'm not putting a parlay on that one to save my life. Who knows how that'll go. They have the Vikings to kick off December. Then they've got the Panthers. They've got another one, of course, against the Niners. And then obviously the NFC West to end it all with the Rams and the the Cardinals. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I think the Cardinals are going to win this division. Bam, I said it. Yeah, wow. Why not? Trey McBride all the way. Love that. Love seeing those odds. What do you guys think? Let us know at Up and Adam Show. Should we give some positivity to the Texans and their fans over a couple of rough weeks? Nico Collins, please come back. I mean, he is set to make his debut. They've got the Monday Nighter to seal Week 11 against the Cowboys. But I feel like we're underreacting to how big of a difference maker the Nico return is going to be. He was the leading receiver in the league. Jamar's happy he's out because he made up so much ground on him. He gets injured back in Week 5, but he was averaging an absurd 113.4 yards a game on the year, even though he only played 9 snaps in the Buffalo game before sustaining that hammy. I mean, his absence really made Houston, I don't even know, one-dimensional, flat, uninspiring. This offense didn't look the same without him, and neither did C.J. Stroud's production. The loss was compounded, of course, when Diggs went down. But take a look at this. Texans 4-1. When Nico's healthy, 2-3 without him. Stroud's yards, his completion percentage, passer rating, on top of the world to below average without him. If you put that in perspective, the passer rating in weeks 1 to 5, guys, was 9th. Since week 6, no Nico, 30th. What? That's glaring. That is staggering. So even though the Texans didn't have sustained success over that stretch, there was a silver lining. We did see more opportunities for guys like Tank Dell and John Mechie. They stepped up. They got reps that they wouldn't usually have, that they might need down the stretch. Maybe develop some chemistry with Stroud, who's been getting hit. It hasn't looked like the rookie of the year, but that expectation was sort of crazy to begin with. I think that the options, the depth. That's what I've said a lot. It'll just pay off. Hopefully, if they have more setbacks or he'll have more options through his reads. I don't know. I don't know what to make of the Texans. What do you guys think? I'm only hoping that our guy Nico Collins coming back brings them right up to that level where we expect them to be and where their talent is. And they are. If you're moving the abacus and seeing which way the wind blows over on FanDuel Sportsbook, fourth best odds still to win the AFC. Fourth best odds at plus 950. So I would say now is a good time to get back on the Texans train if you decided to hop off of it. Okay, next, underreacting. Listen, we know what Saquon's done for the Eagles. Nobody's underreacting to that. But let's talk about the defensive situation, okay? This is a 7-2 start. We had Fletcher Cox on the program, a legend, 12 years there in this Eagles thing, giving love to Jalen Carter, to the defense, to Fangio, to everyone. This has been a night and day transformation. We are not talking about it enough. Here's what I mean. The move to bring in Fangio has really worked well. Eagles are top 5 in every major defensive category. They were bottom 5 across the board a year ago. They held Cooper Rush to 45 passing yards on 23 attempts on Sunday. They had Burrow, his worst performance of the season. They've been clicking. Love those Kelly Greens, too. Okay, Vic, obviously, that's helped. He's not getting enough credit, but Roseman always deserves a little extra. He overhauled 60% of the secondary. And every button he pushed this season, you cannot tell me it has not worked. Quinyon Mitchell, their first rounder, 8th lowest passer rating allowed of any corner in the NFL this season. He's up there with Stingley. He's up there with Sertana. No one's talking about it. And he's getting better every week. Second rounder, Koopa DeJean, okay? They're singing about him on the sidelines. I love this guy. Friend of the show. He didn't get reps really at nickel until week 6, and now he's PFF's 3rd highest graded corner since that point. He held CD Lamb, not the Sun, this guy, Cooper DeJean, okay? Sunshine kept CD to 2 catches for 5 yards on Sunday when they were matched up. And the return of CJ Gardner-Johnson, that's paid off big time. He's had picks in 2 of the last 3 games. He's brought an edge back to this group. I don't want to overlook Darius Slay either. He's been playing at a great level. This group is going to, I love watching these highlights. What a game that was. This group's going to get tested to kick off week 11. Major test. Fletcher Cox was like, they got it. They're coming off a dominating win. They got Jaden Daniels. They got this Commanders offense, all the wrinkles that come with that. The Eagles are 3.5-point favorites in that one. At the link, it's hard to not give it to them. I don't know if there's a parlay. There might be a little bit of a profit boost token. I don't know. I haven't heard from the overlords yet. We're waiting to hear back from them. But I do know that FanDuel ambassador and BFF of FanDuel, Gronk, is on the show. And he's on it right after this. We're going to get into the helicopter. How scary was that? It looked like it was jumping off a diving board, in my opinion. So we'll get to all of that with Rob Gronkowski right after this. 2 of my biggest fears, Hamilton. 2. Snakes and the ocean. I do not F with the ocean. I would barely dip a toe in the ocean.
I feel like the jumping out of moving vehicles, you're fine with, right?
I'm okay. I'm less afraid of that. But it's, yeah. Have you ever heard such a deep pool of my hysteria, my chronic, and do you know who Omar Odavi is? I don't even know if this is a real person.
No.
It's probably sketchy to talk about. So you've never heard of Omar Odavi? Odavi?
No.
Somebody back there in the good old control room, one of the thousands of people sitting there, can look up. Oh, I don't know if it's ODAVI. I don't know. It's allegedly this person attracts, because of something in their body, like minerals or what, attracts sea life. I'm not kidding. Maybe it's a prank. Omar Odavi? Omar Odavi Ocean, I would put.
So this is something I was really supposed to know.
It's like he's an animal magnet. So he goes in the ocean and sharks will swim to, I'm not kidding, a magnet for sharks. I'm not joking. It's something
because of the minerals in his body.
Did I make maybe it was a dream. Is that not a real person? Stop it. That's what I thought about when I saw the Gronk thing.
Take a look. It's like me with cats.
I saw the Gronk thing and thought, oh my gosh, that was Omar Odavi, it'd be curtains.
You better hope, yeah. Gronk's mineral content.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you just made this up.
No, it's just TikTok, though. Omar Odavi. Scientists want to study the mercury count within Omar Odavi, O-D-A-V-I. Watch it.
Because of the mercury count?
I don't know. We don't know why. But look do you see this thing of him? It could be, do you see this? Pull up the TikTok on your thing. Do you not see this? All these sharks swimming up to him. It is absolutely bananas. Why is the control room so silent? Are you guys not finding this? Is it just my computer? Can someone confirm or deny it's a real person?
Somebody really pranked you. On Instagram, it has to be real.
What about Omar Odavi? It's the first thing I thought. Absolutely horrifying. Although, it could be a lie. It's probably a lie. Old wives.
What's that?
Probably not a real person. My absolute biggest fear.
Yeah.
Cardinals are going to win the West. That's what I decided. Not really a big jump. Whatever. I said the Steelers were going to the Super Bowl. It was everywhere. I didn't mean to say it, but I don't.
All right, he's about to jump now. The first one will be the Navy diver who will go in first. The second person you see is Gronk. Here we go.
That's about 20, 25 feet, right?
Higher than I would like to be.
That's the Navy person.
All right, Gronk, you got it. Yeah.
And there's Gronk. Gronk. Oh, he's got the GoPro.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy.
The chuckle from the crew. Did you, when you watched that back, I'm sure you didn't hear that in real time, right?
No, I didn't. I couldn't, Kay. I didn't have my earpiece in since I was in the water, but they're great guys to be around, and they're always throwing shots at me and always chuckling whenever I'm around. So they're great crew, and whenever there's some action like that, whenever, I can jump out of a plane like last year and go skydiving or, go through the Navy SEAL training on the obstacle course. I'm the young buck of the group, so I got to do it all, and they get to commentate on it and get the laugh. So it's a good duo and a good team.
There was some criticism here because it was like, oh, it's this thing and you're a guinea pig and all of that. But a lot of people on Twitter said, it looked like he dropped 3 feet. Did it feel like 3 feet? What about people who think this isn't hardcore?
It wasn't that hardcore, Kay. Let me tell you that. And I was trying to argue with them. I told Fox as well, hey, if I'm going to be jumping out of a helicopter, it needs to at least be 40 to 50 feet. And, let's have a thrill going. Let's get my heart rate going. Let me get some adrenaline going. I skydived last year, and we were 15,000 feet up in the air. So it was due to safety concerns, so the Navy and the SEALs and whatever organization wanted to, be on the, proper side of safety. And I'm not usually.
Was it scary?
It wasn't scary.
Okay.
I mean, we went through simulations the day before. They have a pool. We jumped off of a diving board that was about 15 feet high. It wasn't scary at all. The scariest part was the helicopter blades. You're just thinking when you land into the water and then the blades that are spinning so fast, the ripples of the water, it kind of gives it that, special effect moment right there. And that's what really makes it cool.
I thought it was really cool to see. The military is so near and dear to your heart. You've always, through your career, before, after, during, USO, you went to Poland, I know, everything that you've done and everything that you give for that, so I thought that was really cool. I'm so curious, does jumping out of the helicopter and doing that, does it help get you into USSA finally, so those commercials get to switch up?
I hit up USAA, and they told me, nope, that does not work. You got to keep on trying. And what was cool is that I did a little USAA shoot the day before as well, where I just went around and thanked veterans. And first off, Veterans Day was 2 days ago. So I just still want to thank the veterans out there for sacrificing their lives and everything that they do so we can have the freedom to go out there and play on Sundays and have freedom to talk on this show and do what we do every single week, Kay. But just overall, USAA, I went around just conducting some interviews, and there was just so many great people, just so many veterans that served our country, and they were just so thankful just to be part of the shoot. And USAA just does such a great job with the guys that, are in our military.
It's really well said. You're coming to us from a gym somewhere in Buffalo. We love that you're taking the time here on Up and Adams, as you do most Wednesdays. So I heard this story this morning that, because jumping in the ocean would be truly my biggest fear. Like, it could be off a diving board. Me in water, no. My only other bigger fear is snakes. I'm deathly afraid of snakes. And there was a story that the Steelers found a snake in the locker room this past weekend. Now, they were on the road. They were, I believe, visiting, it doesn't say it here, but I believe they were visiting the Commanders, of course, FedEx Field. There was a locker room. I think we had more details than this. It was in Russell Wilson's locker, right? Okay. Is that not insane? And then part of me is like, did Jaden Daniels plant that? Because why was it in Russell Wilson's locker? They were chasing the snake around and could not find it, and it got away.
Well, first off, Kay, we're here not just in any normal gym, any ordinary gym. I'm actually at my dad's store. He's been selling fitness equipment,
cool.
retail and commercially here in Buffalo. So that's why I'm jacked, because I started lifting weights when I was in 7th grade right here behind me. So if you guys need any fitness equipment here in Buffalo, my dad has the best in the game. G&G Fitness right here on Transit Road, baby. And now back to the snake, Kay. I can tell you this. I do not mess with snakes. I don't care what type of snake it is. And same with spiders. Spiders and snakes are my biggest fear. Camille always makes fun of me because when there's a spider in the house, I get all and I run away from it. She's like, I got to be the bigger person here and kill this little spider that's in the house. And you're 6'6", 260 pounds running around like a little girl. And snakes, I'm even more terrified of those.
What's the craziest thing you've seen in a locker room? Is that this isn't an alarming story? I feel like there's more. We need to get an investigative reporter on this. Dateline needs to get into play.
Was it an actual real snake, or was it like one of those planted snakes that are fake?
A real snake was found.
How did that happen?
We don't know, but then half the team was terrified of it, because they're reasonable humans like I am, and then the unserious half was chasing the snake, and then it got away, which is kind of insane that if 53 dudes couldn't catch a snake. But it was in Russell Wilson's locker, and I'm like, that seems a little sketchy to me.
That is a little sketchy. I mean, someone had a plan. Like, how does a snake in Pittsburgh get all the way to Russell Wilson's locker room?
Yeah,
I mean,
it was in.
I don't know.
It was in Washington.
I would be running away. It was in Washington. Okay, well, that makes a lot of sense then, because he was on the road and the Washington Commanders fans, wanted to plant that and try to throw him off the game. But I can tell you this, Kay, it did not work. So don't mess with Russell Wilson. He's reborn, and he's out there, and he's destroying it, and he's putting passes up where his receivers can go up and make the play. So that snake, hey, the Commanders, good try, but it didn't work.
I love the Ravens. I love the Bengals. Steelers team always performs well, but they're really crushing it right now. Give me the Gronk. You're saying he's putting the ball in the right places. Like what is working so well for Russell Wilson? Who saw this coming?
Well, I mean, they got that defense that's very well. That's a very good defense, one of the best in the league. So he's just complementing what the defense is bringing to the table. And he's giving them the chance to win games. He's giving his wide receivers the chance to go up and make a play. It's not like, he's doing magic out there and running around and tossing the ball and putting it right on the money. He's just putting it up there to where George Pickens can go up and high point the ball and make the play that he knows George Pickens can make. So that's what you need. You need to be able to make plays, and Russell Wilson gives his offense the best possibility to go out and do that as well.
They got a big one this week. These Steelers, I believe, they are hosting the Ravens early window on Sunday. How do you think that goes?
Well, I thought the Buffalo Bills versus Kansas City Chiefs was the biggest game this weekend. But let me tell you this now. I think the Ravens at Steelers, we got two of the biggest games this weekend out of the whole year. And the Ravens at Steelers, it's always going to be a dogfight. There's no doubt about that. The Pittsburgh Steelers fans, they're going to be waving that terrible towel. They're going to be screaming every second. And it's going to go down to the wire. I mean, these two are going to be ripping and clawing at each other like they always have. This is probably the biggest rivalry in all of football right now in the NFL. That's still strong and still going and still kind of hated on both sides, where both of the teams don't like each other.
I'm looking at this other game here. Another early window game is the Patriots. I like, and you and I love FanDuel Sportsbook. We are big fans. I'm not touching the Patriots on anything or their opponent. I don't know. I feel like I'm never counting them out. They could lose or win any game. They could blow out a team, or I don't know what to make of the Patriots. But obviously, I mean, it looks like it's headed in the right direction-ish. What do you make of this game? It's weird.
I think they are headed in the right direction, and they're playing hard, and they play mistake-free football, and they know that's what they got to do in order to win the game. But with this game, I think the Rams, they just have too much talent. I think they're just going to win this game based on experience. The Patriots are definitely going to play them hard, and what I'd like to see is that, ever since that soft comment that everyone was flipping out about, I feel like the team has come through and they're playing hard for Coach Gerard Mayo. They're going out there and they want to win the games. They're not the most talented out there, but they're going out there and giving way better effort than teams with a lot more talent on their roster. And that's why the Patriots are 3-7, because when they play a team that's not working as hard as their talent is, then they're going to take them down. But I feel like the Rams with Coach McVay, they're too experienced. They got Stafford, they got the wide receivers. I think the Rams are going to be able to pull it off because of the talent they got on offense.
I have a hard one for you because I'm thinking about that team and I'm thinking about Drake May. Drake May, second highest rated passer among these rookie quarterbacks so far. The kids on TikTok, I like to see what they talk about, like what these trends are or whatever. There's a lot of who would you take Aaron Rodgers over going on as far as what we've seen so far. And a lot of the cats on the TikTok are saying, I'd rather take Drake May. I was building a team where I'm throwing in with a guy, Drake May over Aaron Rodgers. That is insane that that's where we are, but it's kind of reasonable. What do you think?
I mean, it's more than reasonable, because if you're trying to start building a franchise, Aaron Rodgers has only 1 or 2 years left, so it's perfect that he goes to a team that needs a quarterback and they're just trying to win right now, and that was the Jets situation. Unfortunately, it's not pulling out or panning out on how they wanted it to. But with the Patriots, or if you're rebuilding a team, yes, you want Drake May. He's a young buck. He's kind of proving himself over the last, 3-4 weeks that he is a legit, franchise quarterback. Yes, it's still early, but with what he has around him, he is performing at a level that no one expected him to perform. Yeah, we wanted to see, great aspects of his game, but he's even taking it to a whole nother level. So Drake May, because he's so young and he has 15 to 20 years left, if he keeps on improving, he seems like a guy that's going to be humble. You got to start a franchise with him over Rodgers, because he's about to be retired. But if Rodgers was at the beginning, you would have to take Rodgers.
If you had a team that was, let's look at just some. If you had a team that was in it, let's say like the Bengals, and somehow they don't have Joe Burrow, who would you rather have the rest of the way, Aaron Rodgers or Drake May?
Say the Bengals needed to win this season, I would go with Aaron Rodgers, just because he's so experienced. He knows the situations. He can have a deep playoff run with them. He knows how to work, with wide receivers like Jamar Chase. If it was for 1 year, right now, it's Aaron Rodgers.
I'm looking at this, just the standings in the AFC East. So it's the Pats, the Jets, the Dolphins. They've got the same number of wins right now. How do you see this AFC East shaking out? Who wins?
Yeah, I definitely see the Buffalo Bills winning the AFC East. There's no doubt about that. They're solid. They're learning from their mistakes, and they know how to correct them. But it's going to be a run for second place. I don't think anyone else outside of the Buffalo Bills are going to make the playoffs. They would have to be a serious run in order for the Dolphins, Jets, or Patriots to even have a chance and snip the playoffs in a wild card seed. But Bills will win it, and I think Miami will be second, because they got Tua back. They're kind of a wild card. They got Tyreek and all the other wide receivers, so they can beat any given team, any given Sunday, but they're just not consistent enough. They'll have some big wins, knock some big teams off, and the Dolphins will finish second place, I believe.
I hear you're going to the Tyson fight.
Yes, I am. Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul.
What do I need to know about this? Tell me, what is it going to be taken seriously? Do you have any thoughts on it? I know it was supposed to happen, then it didn't happen, and now it's happening again.
Well, I was talking to Jake Paul's management team, because we've done some things a couple times over last year, and he says that it's for real. He goes, this fight's not fixed, because that's everyone's speculation out there, and it's going to be a for real fight. And
there's odds.
Personally,
it's sanctioned.
I don't know the odds. There they are right there. Jake Paul -210 versus Mike Tyson, who's +172. All right. I guess FanDuel's never wrong. Those odds are the odds. I can tell you that right now. You want to bet, then you got to make a bet right here on FanDuel, baby. I'm not a boxing guy, so I can't really give advice. I like to watch, but I don't know the ins and outs like that. But the fight is going to be fascinating. I'm really excited to watch it, especially, up close and personal. And I just want to see a good fight. I want to see Mike Tyson come out. I want to see Jake Paul take some shots from Mike Tyson and then throw some shots back. And hopefully Tyson can last with his conditioning, because 60 years old, that's impressive, man, if you can last, that long in a boxing ring.
The stars are going to be out. Who are you rolling with? Who's coming with you?
Yeah, I'm actually going, Mike Tyson is all decked out in Built Basics gear, and I'm a Built Basics guy, and I got my Built Basics shirt on. So I'm actually rolling with the owner of Built Basics, and we're going to be right there up close and personal. He's got Mike Tyson all decked out in Built gear, so I'll be rolling with him, but I'm sure I'm going to see a lot of friends and a lot of other, like celebrity type people, there as well.
Let's play a game. Let's play a game where we draft celebrities or people with notoriety that are going to be at this fight. So it's in Dallas. It's not in Vegas. The Cowboys play Monday night, but I know that you're going. I get to pick first. So you're off the table. Whoever you're going to win here, because you probably know more people that are going. I'm going to guess that it's Friday night, so Tom Brady could be there, but I will go with Jerry Jones. It's his house. He's given it, whatever. I will say Jerry Jones will be shown on camera. He will be at the fight. That is my number one choice. Let me write these down. Who do you think? Let's each draft three.
That's kind of an obvious choice, You picked the obvious choice. Okay, wow. That was hard to do. Oh, man. I'm going to go with Shaq. I think Shaq Diesel has a DJ event in Dallas, from what I saw, because his management throws my parties at Medium Rare. They throw my parties, my Gronk Beach parties. So they manage Shaq's DJ career, and I know he's in Dallas on Saturday for a set. So he's got to be at the fight Friday night. He's got to be there.
Gosh. I'm going to go. Who else do I think would be? Obviously, I would think some Cowboys, but you're saying you're making fun of me. So I'm going to go Theo Vaughn. I think, he's more of a UFC guy, I think. But I'm thinking of all those guys. I'm going to go Theo Vaughn. That's my second choice.
That's a good one. But if they're UFC guys, I really don't see them being at the fight, because they kind of have beef with Jake Paul. I don't know if they're going to do that.
I don't know any of this. I'm picturing all the... Okay. Damn. Okay, go ahead. You go.
I'm going to go with Haley Welch. She actually, I'm pretty sure she did an interview with on Jake Paul's media podcast thing that he has. So she's got to be there as well if she's doing interviews with the Paul brothers.
Jamie Foxx.
Well, that's a good one there.
Is it? Yay!
Yeah,
okay.
That's a good guess.
I got Jamie Foxx. Go ahead.
I got a good one. I got Matthew McConaughey.
You think?
He's a Dallas guy. He's a Texas Longhorn, and it's just the fight's in Texas, so he's a good possibility he's there.
Man, do I go Snoop Dogg or do I go 50 Cent? There's no way 50 Cent's going to Dallas.
I got 50 Cent on my list as well. But
really? No, I want him. It's my turn.
All
50
right.
Cent. Matthew McConaughey. Right. I have 50 Cent. Who do you have?
I'm going to go with Dak Prescott coming out of the surgery room with on crutches.
No way.
Yeah.
You really think so?
All juiced up on morphine still.
Who's Mike? Oh, I know. Hold on. I'll juiced up on morphine. So you're going to go. I'll go another court. I could go Aikman, but I don't. Does Aikman live down there?
Aikman is preparing for a football game.
Okay, but I think Tom Brady goes.
Yeah, Tom Brady's a good choice.
I'm going to go Tom Brady. Tom Brady, because it's a Friday. He loves Mike Tyson. They walked out the Morgan Wallen thing together. They're clearly friendly. Okay, up to you. Go for it.
I don't know if Tom's going to be there or not, but I'm hoping he is. That'll be cool to catch up with him.
Who else
but
you
I got one. I'm going to go with Logan Paul. That's kind of like the obvious, like Jerry Jones. So I get one obvious one as well.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, let's do it. Okay, one more. We've gone over and okay. Logan Paul. That's a gimme. I'm an idiot. I could go like Mark Cuban, or somebody from The Hangover. They would pay somebody potentially to come out that's like a Zach Galifianakis kind of a thing to pay that off. Maybe not. I'm going to go Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban, final answer. That's my last pick.
All right, and my last pick. I mean, that's a good one because he's not a given, even though he's a Dallas guy. But Is he a fighter?
Yeah, like
is,
why?
is he a,
Like why
does
would
he
you?
like fight?
Yeah, like what's in it for him to go support?
Yeah.
Jerry World and no, I don't know what's
Yeah.
in it for him. I don't know.
And I never really see him in Jerry's World at the stadium.
Damn it,
So
I don't know.
is he going to show up? That's a good one. That's a good guess. But I'm going to go with Flava Flav. I mean, the guy's been everywhere, and he hasn't missed an event in forever. So Flava Flav, he's got to be there. He's #1 hype man of all time too.
I just got completely. You killed it. We'll make a full screen, hopefully back there, Cortine, if you could, and we'll get those picks. That's very, very well done.
Well, I'm just warming up for Proper Shot because I got to make a comeback. So that list right there. Whoever wins, whoever gets more right on that list gets an extra point on Proper Shot.
Sure, your rules.
Yeah.
I'm just living in it. Speaking of Proper Shot, Hammy, before we even get to that, Hamilton, why don't you pop on? Like, he just killed me in that draft, like beyond.
Yeah, and when he wins, he will get an extra prop. As the moderator of this game, I approve that. I approve that rule change.
Okay, sounds
Thank
good.
you, Hamilton.
Sounds good. Okay, let's see. Let's do Proper Shot. Let's look at the scoreboard. Now we need extra credit for Gronk, participation trophies, whatever.
Gronk, you had another good night. You went 2 for 3, but Kay went a perfect 3 for 3 again. So she's up 15-10 on the season so far. So, Gronk, we're going to try to close this gap. You already took the Hawk to a girl off the board. So we're going to start with A.J. Brown. His line for receiving is at 81.5 yards. Does he go over or under somewhere
Is that who
tonight?
that is? Hold on. That's who that
That's who Haley Welcher.
I didn't know. Okay, now I know.
Get up on your pop culture.
God,
okay?
that is a great freaking guess. I hate myself. That is such a
He's
good
100%
guess.
right. Yeah.
You were wondering in your mind, like, who's Haley Welch? Well, that's who Haley Welch is, you know. Yes, I'm a proper guy, so I don't go around saying
that's a great guess.
Those crazy terms, you know, that of her nickname. But okay, back to Proper Shot. Okay, all right, we're getting off track here. I'm going with A.J. Brown to have over 81.5 receiving yards, and he's going to do it on one play, almost one play. He's going to take a big one to the house.
All right, Kay, your turn. Terry McLaurin's line for receiving yards is 59.5. He just hyped up that Eagles secondary. Does he go over or under that?
I like the new look Eagles secondary. I like Mr. Fangio. I gave him love, but Terry is going to do his thing. This is a low line. This is giving too much respect to the Eagles, in my opinion. He's third in the league in receiving. He's got Jaden. I know it's a short week. It's always weebly wobbly, but he's gone over this line, by the way, 5 times straight. 5 straight games against Philly. It's going to happen again.
All right, Gronk, speaking of Jaden, his line for passing touchdowns is 1.5 for this game. Does he go over or under that?
Oh, man, I'm going to go 1.5 passing touchdowns. I mean, he's not really known for all of his touchdowns. He's known for his completion percentage and all that, and be able to run the ball for a touchdown as well. But if he's going to throw over 1.5, I think he is. It's time that he has a breakout game throwing touchdowns as well. He has before, but he's going to have a true one. He's going to at least have 2. Let's go, Jaden. I'm cheering for you, buddy. Let's go.
All right, Kay, Saquon's line for rushing yards is 92.5 on a short week. Does he go over or under that?
I'm going to say over. Over. Commanders' defense, they're improved, but they're bottom 5 against every metric against the run. Like, literally the worst against the run. So I feel like Saquon, he's fresh. He had a nice light load on Sunday. They blew out the Cowboys, so he didn't have to do much. So he's going to be fresher, and he's going to bang the over on this. All right, let's take a look here. Let's take a look at mine versus yours. Oh, we have one more. Oh, go.
Wait, I didn't get the Eagles anytime touchdown. Yeah. I mean, come on, Kay. Come on.
Go for it.
All right, I got Hamilton. I got Eagles anytime touchdown. Is that correct?
Yes, you do.
All right. Well, I'm going to go with the one with the best odds, obviously, with Saquon Barkley. I mean, Saquon Barkley. I mean, he's been on fire this year. I don't know why the Giants let him go. That's still a front office mistake for the Giants, but the Eagles got him, and they're taking advantage of having him as well for kind of a great deal on that contract that he has. So Saquon Barkley going to score anytime touchdown. Let's go. I need to go 3 for 3 finally. Please.
Plus an extra for Hawk Tua girl. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right, Kay, your anytime touchdown score for the Commanders.
I'm going to go right back to Scary Terry, okay? Plus 160. I like that. A lot of trash talk about how we can't keep this going against the Eagles. So he's gonna absolutely bank a TD on Thursday Night Football. So to recap, Terry McLaurin over the receiving yards, Saquon Barkley over 92.5 rush. And Terry McLaurin, anytime touchdown, I'm doubling down on him. Gronk, what'd you go with?
Yeah, so I got A.J. Brown over 81.5 receiving yards, and then I got Jaden Daniels passing for over 1.5 touchdowns, and then I got Saquon Barkley to score an anytime touchdown, baby. 3 for 3. Please, football gods, I need it.
FanDuel offering all customers a 30% profit boost token to use on any live wager for Thursday night's Commanders-Eagles game. Please go to FanDuel Sportsbook. Take a look at some of those props. There's over 500 of them. Rob and I just talked through those. Who do you like? You can even mix them up. The only thing that you need for this is they have to be minus 200 odds or longer for this Thursday night NFC East football game. More Gronk after this. Can you slate it? Can you slate it for me? Thanks. All right, we're back with Mr. Rob Gronkowski coming to us from Buffalo. Do you ever help sell the equipment there with your dad?
No, he actually never let me work for him because he knew I was going to make it big time. So he was like, I don't want you to get hurt, assembling equipment and carrying it and delivering it. It's really heavy. I don't need you to blow out your back. So thank you to my dad. But I do promote it. We do have our own fitness line, Gronk Fitness, off of the, it's one of the parent companies of what my dad owns. So Gronk Fitness is a branch off of everything that we have as well.
It's amazing. So you're in Buffalo, so we'd be remiss if we didn't congratulate you, my friend, on the Buffalo Hall of Fame. Congrats, it's insane.
Yeah, the Greater Sports Buffalo Hall of Fame, and you just call me Mr. Rob Gronkowski, but that's not my name. Ever since last night, I am now Mr. Buffalo. I've been Mr. New England for quite some time, but last night I was Mr. Buffalo, and I don't know how long Mr. Buffalo is going to last for, because if I go back to New England, I might be Mr. New England again, but I am Mr. Buffalo. Thank you so much, Kay. The Greater Sports Hall of Fame, I want to give a shout out to all the other inductees as well. And it was a full circle moment because Vic Carucci, NFL senior writer, you know who Vic Carucci is, right? So he's one of the best out there. He votes for the Hall of Fame too. He has one of the votes out there, and he's a great dude. And I known him since 8th grade. And when I walked into his house, I used to hang out with his daughters, all our friends. We're all friends together. And I walked into his house, and he was writing an article, and I said, hey, Vic, this is 8th grade. I go, you're going to be writing about me one day. And he's like, yeah, right, kid. I go, no, you're going to be writing about me. And he remembers that story to the T. And now he wrote an article about me, how that all happened. And called it in 8th grade, Kay. Full circle moment, and we went into the Hall of Fame together here in Buffalo. So really cool moments.
You were such a good representative of Buffalo, and it must be it's like, I always think of you just the torturous relationship of having to go against them twice a year and all of this, but you love them, but you can't love them because you're a Patriot and it's awkward. You really handled that really gracefully throughout your career, and that's not easy to do.
Thank you. I mean, when you score a lot of touchdowns against someone, you can handle it a lot easier because they can't say anything about you because you're torturing them. And I had 12 career touchdowns versus the Bills. And, I was always respectful to the community. And, I grew up here. I can't forget where my hometown roots came from and where that grit and, that sturdy base came from, and that's here in Buffalo. So that blue collar work ethic. So I know where I came from, but they passed on me. The organization passed on me, not the city of Buffalo. So still love the city. I love growing up here. I want to have changed a thing. And, they just didn't like me while I was playing, when I was scoring touchdowns or when I was dropping elbows on their DBs for holding me.
Yeah, it always comes back to Tre'Davious White with you somehow. You are Mr. Buffalo and Mr. New England. You might be competing against Bill Belichick's girlfriend at some point in some sort of pageantry.
Oh, yeah, I may be, actually. That's a good point. And I'm also Mr. Navy SEAL after all the training, hanging out with the Navy SEALs and all the sailors in the Navy. So thank you once again to our veterans. You just can't say thanks enough, Kay.
Let's bring in a guest here who I hope has a take on your dunk, your dive into the ocean. Edelman, what did you make of that? And welcome to the show.
Who is that dude? Oh, that's Julian Edelman.
That was a large man jumping out of a helicopter. I thought it looked like it was supposed to be 40 feet, but it only looked with Gronk because he's 9 feet tall. It only looked like a puddle jump.
Wow. Wow.
Thought it was awesome. Was it cold?
It was awesome.
Yeah, was it cold? That's
Jules,
a good question.
I had the wetsuit on. What was really cool is when we were going around the helicopter, the door was open in the helicopter the whole time, and we were up there for 25 minutes circling. And I swear it was about 40 degrees that morning, and that wind was just blowing on your face and body full speed. And I was shivering. They're like, are you nervous? I'm like, no, I'm not nervous. I'm just so cold. I was shivering. So when I got in the water, it was actually warmer than being up in the helicopter.
So was the water salty? How was the water really content for you?
Hey, I love my salt water, Jules. It heals all the wounds. It heals all the sore muscles. Julian knows I'm a saltwater guy.
Is that true?
Him go in the ocean. I make him go in the ocean with me every single time.
Anytime we go to the beach, Rob, he's infatuated with the salt water. He feels like it just heals everything. And it does. It feels good on your skin, your body. But, we'd be in the Bahamas or in Florida or
so rough.
Anywhere. He's always like, man, this is some salty water. This is some salty water.
Baker's Bay, you're just like, oh, my life is so hard. I have to go in the salt water with Gronkowski. Here's my thing. All these Fox dudes on Sunday are like, oh, Rob's young. He's the guinea pig. When does Edelman have to start jumping out of stuff? When does he get initiated into this adrenaline junkie stuff?
I don't know.
Rob?
I don't know either. That's a question that we can't answer. we're going to have to ask the front office. That's kind of like asking Bill Belichick when you're going to play.
Richard,
you don't ask. You got to earn it, and Julian's going to earn it. He has earned it. He's doing a great job on the show, but Julian will be coming through eventually with some adrenaline rush type gimmicks. And you're down for it too.
I'm still getting coffees for people. I'm like a rookie still in the crew.
You guys have worked together.
I gotta be seen, not heard.
You two have worked together for so freaking long. Every day, and then in the off season, and then in the ocean, and then you guys decide to hang out on Sundays at Fox together, and then you do Dudes on Dudes, which is incredible, and you're both crushing the media space respectively and then together. I like the concept a lot. I like the categories. I believe it's stud, freak, dog, whiz, dude's dude, and then there's like other categories as well. So I thought we could run through. You guys do football players, you did like Chiefs, you guys did, Brady, all of that. Can I give you guys a couple of characters and you guys can categorize the level of dude for me?
All right, let's see what we got. Let's go, Jules. We're experienced now. We can do it on the fly.
Yeah, let's start easy and nice and easy with Mark Wahlberg. Jules, what kind of a dude is Mark Wahlberg?
Ooh, Mark Wahlberg. He hits a lot of categories. He was a rapper. He's an actor. He's a great golfer. I have two that are hitting me right now. He's either a stud because he's got pedigree in a bunch of things, or he's just a dog because, back in the past, Wahlberg in Dorchester, little curbside justice always here and there.
Okay.
So I think he's got that dog in him. He's self-motivated. He's mentally tough. He's physically tough. He's got that dog, or he's a stud. What do you think, Rob?
I mean, he is a stud in a way, but he's definitely more of a dog, that's for sure, especially being from Dorchester. And what's great about him, dogs, they don't forget about his family. They don't forget about where they came from. Mark Wahlberg has never forgot where he came from.
Never.
He has all his loyal friends from when he was a kid around him as well, and he's always bringing them out, and that's how the show Entourage got started. He's an absolute dog, and he's always down to get dirty in the streets as well, especially back in the day. Now these days, there's too much social media and cameras, but Mark Wahlberg would be a guy now.
He's a dad now. He's
a dad now. He would be a guy that's on your side and ready to, to get down and dirty if things, turn like that.
I love it. Dogs don't forget about their family. That's what I just learned. I love that. Okay, here's my next one for you. Rob, kick it off. Ed Hockley.
Ed Hockley, the ref?
Yeah. What kind of guy? What kind of dude is he? Dudes on dudes.
All right, I'll go first. Ed Hockley, I mean, he's kind of a freak in a way of being his age and being able to be that jacked and have that type of cardio to run back and forth on the field and take absolutely no garbage. I mean, a freak, we categorize freaks more as in like how freaky they are. If you just look at them, they just have muscles just popping out of their body. And Ed Hockley's is that type of guy, and especially at that age, you have to be a freak of nature to be that guy.
He's not a ref anymore, but he is 73, and his son's reffing now. But you guys had
direction.
You had interactions with him on the field, right, Julian?
Oh yeah, me and Ed, we've talked a few times. I go a completely different category for Ed. I think he's a whiz because he's innovative of the buff ref. Now we look at the damn TV and every goddamn referee's got veins poking out their damn arms. I'm like, well, I thought these guys are like lawyers fucking. Oh, excuse me, are we not allowed to swear here?
You always do anyway. Go for it, Jules.
So I think he's innovative. I think he's a whiz. He's got that whiz in him.
Okay,
Hey, Julian, every time you're about to swear, just you're a squirrel. Just shove some nuts in your mouth and just shush it real quick.
We're going to be back right after this television break as the FCC finds our show, puts it on the desk of the front office. We will be right back after this with Dudes on Dudes podcast stars and co-host Rob Gronkowski and Julian Edelman. Let's keep this going. I'm going to throw one in here that I don't even have a picture of. How about Frank Edelman? What kind of dude is Frank Edelman, Jules? Go for it.
Frank Edelman? My pops?
Your pops.
I have to go. I think my dad's a stud.
Yeah.
He's also a dog. But my dad, stand-up dude. Does all the little things. Great father. Great businessman.
Love it.
Doesn't cut corners. Crosses his T's. Dots his I's. Has that pedigree of just hard work. Or I think he's a stud.
I mean, he is, Jules, but we're here to categorize him what fits him, what fits him more. And I think he's a dude's dude. We were just hanging out with him when you had that podcast live at the Wilbur Theater in Boston, and we were hanging out in the back. And he was just a guy you just kick it with and was telling stories, and he was complimenting me. He's always there for your friends. He's always hyping them up. He's always there for you. He's just a good dude, and that's why he's a dude's dude.
Yeah, he could. Yeah, he's a dude's dude. I agree.
I love
Stamp
that.
it.
Dudes on dudes. Next one. Any guesses before we reveal who the people's sexiest man alive is? Anybody know?
Oh.
Is it Jason Kelsey?
No. Good guess. Any guesses?
Ryan Reynolds?
Good guess. No, let's reveal who it is.
Who's the
John Krasinski.
John Krasinski?
Jim-
Shout out.
Jim-
I know his brother Paul very well.
I was going to say he's a Boston boy. You guys probably know him really
Boston
well.
guy.
He was Jack Ryan, so he's got a little badass to him, but he was also Jim from The Office, so he's got a tender heart. I need to know what kind of a dude this is, Edelman.
I think he's
It's so hard.
Krasinski. He starts it off in The Office, but then he throws you a complete curveball and does Jack Ryan, and now he's like full badass. I'm going with the stud for him too because he hits a whole lot of categories. You know, he got his break in The Office, and then it's so hard to not like be typecasted after doing such a cultural phenomenon show like The Office.
So true.
And to be able to reinvent himself. He could be a whiz. Maybe is he a whiz, Rob? What do you think?
I mean, when you're reinventing and innovating, like you said earlier, you're definitely a whiz. But I'm gonna stamp it and say that he's a stud. And why? There's a couple reasons. First off, he has ski at the end of his last name, just like myself, so he's Polish. And when you're Polish, you're an automatic stud, no matter what. He has the Gronk spikes. Did you see those spikes that he had, Julian? And when you have the Gronk spikes, and he has that big Polish nose like I do, I was just rating him up and down, and that nose was sticking out. And when you got those characteristics, you're a stud, baby.
He's a large
Let's
man
go,
too.
Jules.
They're big guys.
Why
The Polish.
didn't you two guess Tom Brady for sexiest man alive?
Is Tom Brady the sexiest man alive right now?
No, John Krasinski is. We just talked about this.
Well, Brady's been the sexiest man alive like too many
Forever.
years in a
million
row,
times.
like way back in the day. So he's not the sexiest man anymore.
I'm surprised it wasn't. I think Tom Brady might have pushed John Krasinski for that one. Last one for you guys. Mike Tyson. Big fight. Jake Paul, me and Gronk just talked about it. What kind of dude is Mike Tyson, Gronk?
Oh, man. Oh, he's lethal. I mean, this guy's a killer. And if you're a killer, you got to be a dog. He's kind of like a pit bull, you know, and when you tick him off, when you tick that pit bull off, and he's going to come at you and he's going to bite the heck out of you. And pit bulls, they're friendly. Like Mike Tyson, super friendly whenever you meet him, whenever you're talking to him. But, you get under his skin, he's going to tear you up.
Physically, mentally, emotionally, just tough. That's all you got to say. He's a dog. Full dog.
I love that. You
He
two are
probably
the
eats a
absolute
steak
best.
with his hands. He don't eat a steak with fork and knife. He eats it with his gosh darn hands. That's a dog.
Julian, it is great to see you. Please, everybody,
see
listen to Dudes on Dudes. It's incredible, and you can get more of this between these two. You can see them on Fox together. Thank you both. Gronk, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
See you guys.
Bye, Jules. Bye, dude.
See you guys at
Roberto.
the ocean, apparently.